Hi, I'm back. But we know this works. It's when I flick the camera over. So apologies about that. I can't understand why it didn't work, because it worked last week, as the ladies will, I've forgotten what the word is, not justify, confirm. So yeah, the sound's fine now, but when I flick over, hi Suze, I've been having technical issues. When I flick over, it wasn't fine. So I'm going to turn the camera around. Now, contingency. If this doesn't work, I'm just going to go straight on live like I do on YouTube on a Thursday night on a Tuesday night, with paper crafts and piano. So I'm not going to do the StreamYard thing until I've got it sorted out. So if this doesn't work, I'm just going to give it 5 minutes and I'll just open up a live on YouTube, and I'll just come straight on, and I won't do the flicking camera. I'll just hold my camera. So yeah, if it doesn't work, so I'm going for it now. I don't think it's working. I'm not sure it's going to work. I am talking now. I'm not sure it's working. I'm not sure it's working. So, is it working? Oh man, I nearly sang a song then because I thought it wasn't working. I've done nothing different. I have done nothing different to when I started it off. So goodness knows what the problem is. But hey, that's fine. I'm happy. So we've got there 17 minutes late. So what I was saying, or trying to say, it's weird because I've done nothing different. I've done all the same checks. But anyway, just wants to test me. So yeah, I've got 2 spaces left for parcel in the post. Well, I could really do with getting to 12, and I've got 10. I mean, if I want to get to 16, that would be amazing. But yeah, this is what you get. You're going to get 12 sheets of coloured cardstock. You're going to get 2 meters, and this soft succulent ribbon is like traditional satin ribbon, which I love. Then 2 meters of the polished pink, half a pack of the gold swirls, and then the star of the show, you're going to get half a pack of the papers. They will be cut into 6x12 because that means I can send them large letter and keep costs down. But if someone wants me to keep them at 12x12, I'm happy with that. But I do have to charge £1 extra postage. So that's an option. But they are gorgeous colours, gorgeous papers. And if you watched last week's paper crafts and piano, I did use them. Now, talking of these, I've got a coffee and card planned with these in January. I'm taking bookings already, which I know is early because we've not even started round 26 yet, but round 27 this will be. But I'm also doing an in-person class in December because I think they're fabulous, and I'm doing an online class in December. So I've got loads of oh, I don't know why it's echoey, but yeah, I've got loads of plans for these papers and the stamp set. Just put them on the floor. So a little reminder, booking will close in 1 week, next week, for the Brewed For You coffee and card that starts on the 29th of November. Here are some cards that we're going to be doing. Now, I was including the dies. I've only got 3 people signed up for this so far, so I would love to get some more people. But everybody said, can I not have the dies, and could I have a couple of ink pads instead, and sort of sort it out that way? And that's absolutely fine. Just ask me. I'm very, very flexible. So yeah, please just ask me. Please always ask rather than not do it at all. So this one starts on 29th of November for 6 weeks. And I think that's all my little announcements done. So today we're on week 4 of our spruced up coffee and card. And this is the card that we're going to be making. So we're using different papers today that we've not used yet. And we're going to use this marvellous sheet of paper from the Celebrate Everything papers, which my lady's got a quarter of a pack of them. Well, they've got 12 sheets of them included for free as a thank you for doing this class. So they are gorgeous, bright, retro colours for Christmas. And these baubles remind me of the lovely, bright, and the shape of them in particular, sort of glass baubles that my grandma and my parents had when I was a child growing up. They really do remind me of those. So we're going to use this today, and this is the card that we're going to do. We are doing a bit of stamping today as well, and we're going to use 2 ink pads, shaded spruce and polished pink, but you could just use basic grey if you wanted to. And let me go through your little pack with you. So in your pack you should have a shaded spruce card base. You should also have a piece of shaded spruce, okay, and I should have done this card 3rd week, and then you would have had these for the presents, and I realised that I've done them in the wrong order. But you should have a scrap of polished pink, and it's not really a scrap, but it's a piece of shaded spruce. It's the same size as the card, so you can cut out the tree and do some background, but you can also use it for other things from other weeks. You should also have a piece of basic white and a stitched circle. Oh, I love these colours, Nelly, too. Okie doke. So I'm going to grab my trimmer first. And the layout of this card, the white piece that I have cut is 8.5 by 12.8. It's 8.5 by 12.8. And the mathematicians amongst you should be able to work out that that means I've come in a centimetre around from the edge, because the card is 10.5. So I've come to 8.5 to allow a centimetre at each side and at the top. So it's 8.5 by 12.8, but you don't need to cut that because I've already done that for you. So for the papers, that's just for anyone who was crafting along at home. For the papers, it's going to be 8 by 12.3. And this is a really nice layout for any cards, really. I like to repeat layouts, and we've got a nice, and look, you've still got loads left from your sheet of 12 by 12. You've got loads left. And that's going to go on there. But whilst we've got our trimmer out, we're going to cut a piece of shaded spruce. Now I just need to check my measurement. Okay. So this is going to be the same width, so it's going to be 8, but it's just going to be 2.5 centimetres. So actually, I'm going to do that at the side. So I'm going to cut that down first to minimise wastage. So I've still got a fairly big piece of card left. So this is 2.5, and then I'm going to cut it to 8. Right, we've got 24 on now. That's amazing considering the technical issues. If you could do a thumbs up on YouTube, I would really, really love that. Thank you. Okay, so we've cut this piece, and let's do some sticking. I think I need a new glue actually. I think these 2 that I have out on my desk, yeah, the 2 used up ones, and I think I left them there last week. Oh no, this one feels like that. It's funny because when you've been a demo for a while, you sort of get used to, oh, that feels like there's some glue in. That one feels empty. I'm going to glue that down. Thumbs up done. Thanks, Fiona. Wow, 27 on. That's amazing. Okay, so with this, it's entirely up to you where you want to stick that, but what I would do is, it's probably, I've got 2/3 and a third rule. I would probably just pop this. I mean, if you want to do it in the middle and do your design in the middle, you can do. In fact, do you know what? I think I might do that. You know, I like to do one a little bit different so that I can ask on social media if people prefer the middle or towards the bottom. So I think I might do that just so I've got a post for social media. And I think it's nice to see how it looks. So I like to do my second design a little bit different sometimes. Just like to check, eyeball it, whether I think I've got it sort of in the middle. I'm fairly happy with that. Okie dokie. I could even pop that on there now. Now, if you wanted to add some ribbon, if you love ribbon and you want to make this a bit fancier, okay, this will be the perfect opportunity. So I'm going to grab some ribbon to show you. I'm not going to add it, but if you wanted to, it would be perfect to pop some ribbon round here. This is the polished pink that is going to be in the parcel in the post, but it also matches in with this suite of products that we're using. So you could tie it here. As I say, I'm not going to pop it on, but you know, I'll probably end up loving it with the ribbon on and say, oh, I'll keep that on there. But if you want ribbon on, you could pop it on there, and then your circle could sort of slot in there like that. Yeah, so that's just a little idea for you if you wanted to step it up a little bit. All right, then you could glue it down. Oh, hi Barb. Oh, have we no Wendy this morning? Missing Wendy this morning. Hope she's okay. Right, so that's going to go on there like that. Do make sure your card is the right way up, you know, like I just did then. We've all done that before, haven't we? Okay, so that's on there like that. Shall we do a bit of stamping? Yeah, because it is Stampin' Up, isn't it? Right, so I'm going to grab my stamp set, the spruced up. I've still got all my die cuts in here. So I'll grab the stamps that I need and then I'll talk you through them. If I can find them. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a mess with all these jewellery. So there's the one I need. And I've actually already got, okay. Maybe I think I need a little folder or an envelope for all those bits. So what I'm going to do is as follows. I'm going to try and do this 2 ways to show you. Okay. So let's do a bit of stamping. Grab a block. Now I'm using this stamp here. It would drive you crackers. Yeah, I think I need to put them in an envelope, Fiona. I'm use this stamp here. We're using Merry and we're using Christmas. Okie doke, and I'm using shaded spruce ink onto shaded spruce card. So tap, tap, tap. And stamp. It does look like a mini crafter man. Yeah, you're very right, Barb. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. And what I'm going to do is just cut that off for a moment. and grab my mini machine. Now these dies do fit in the mini machine, which is great. Great for crafting on the go. Okay, so I'm going to do two things here. First thing is I'm going to cut out the small tree. The smaller tree. Okay, pop that on there. Oh, and while I'm at it, actually, to save time, there are some 3 little stars in the set. So let me just get those out to show you. I'm going to pop those on here and cut those out at the same time. Pop those back there safely. And you've got 3 little stars in shaded spruce there. Okay, put those safe over there. Now I've cut it out. Where's it gone? Oh, it's on the thing still. So I've cut out a small tree, and I obviously get the inside and I get the outside. Okay, don't actually need this, so that can go join all those other ones, but I'm going to use this. Okay, and I'm going to attempt to stamp on that. I'm just showing you 2 different ways of doing it. So the other way is I've stamped first, so let me position the die over it and cut it out. And neither way is wrong, it's just whichever way you prefer, or which you find to be more successful at. So I've rolled that through, and I've got my tree and another outline. Yep. Okie doke. Now, for those of you taking part at home, you would also need to go through again and cut out the polished pink outline. So it's like that. I'm just like to give you tips on how to do it. Some people have different success other ways. Okay, so this one I've stamped and then I've cut. Okay, so we'll put that to one side. This one I've already cut it out. So shall we see how I get on stamping direct onto it? Could be a disaster, couldn't it? Could be a disaster. So let's take this so you can perhaps see it a little better. Because it's only a small piece stamping onto a small, it's only a small piece that I'm stamping onto. Not too bad, not too bad. I don't know if you can see, that's quite dark. Not too bad, Julie, not too bad at all. So that's the other way, okay? Probably think maybe the first way that I did was successful, stamping it and then cutting it, but I just want to show you how different ways would work. All right, so let's take our circle and we're going to make a little mini design here. Now if you wanted to, you could stamp a background with some snowflakes or something, some of the stamps that are in the set if you wanted to. But I'm going to take the tree that I've stamped and I'm going to add the pink outline just to make it pop. You don't even have to add the outline, it's completely up to you. Now you might have noticed I'm actually popping stuff on there first before I've glued it down, and I'm doing that to check whether I've got room and things like that, because I'm going to stamp the Merry straight onto the white circle. So I'm just going to grab a little block. She said, well, it's a bit smaller. We've got Merry and Christmas. And I've not stuck the tree down, but I'm going to stamp the Merry straight onto the white. Like that. Okay, so that's that done. And then I'm going to stamp the Christmas. You see, you've loads of the pink left. I'm going to stamp it right at the top. So this is polished pink. If you go wrong here, you've loads of card left. I'm going to stamp it right up to the top and into the corner. So I've less to cut out. So I'm going to stamp that like that. Okay. You're all really quiet this morning. Now you're watching and getting tips. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to trim that and cut it by hand. Like that. And that's going to go over there like that. Okay, so again, I've not really stuck anything down, but I am going to pop my little stars on. All right, now these are very small, and what I would normally do, if I'm gluing this onto something, I would glue on the back and pop it down. These are so small to do that, you end up with glue on your fingers and everywhere. I would actually pop the glue on the project, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stick my tree down first. All right. So I'm going to use this line on the back of my thing to make sure the Merry's straight. And I'm going to glue the tree down. Now bear in mind to allow some room for the pink frame around it. And really small dots on here. Just control it, don't squeeze too hard. This is where your scissors come in handy, just to press that down like that. And we've got our funky tree there. Now this is going to go over there, but it's going to be on a foam pad, I think. Yeah. So let's do the stars. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one up here. So I'm going to pop a tiny bit of glue on and take the star to the glue and then hold down with scissors. I'm going to do one right down here. And then I'm going to pop one about there. And if it pokes out from underneath the pink bit, that's fine, that's my design. There we go. I'm just going to take some mini dimensionals. Oh, hi Joanne, I'm glad you can hear now. You might have to watch from the beginning. Wow, I'm up to 30. That's amazing. If you're on YouTube, I'd love it if you could do a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. That's going to go over there, like that. If you did want to add some little sparkles, that would be ideal to do that. And then that is going to go over there, and I'm going to use some standard foam pads, but I need to use these edges. just going to go in there like that. And there we're finished. So we've got one on the left with the tree a bit lower down and the design a bit lower down, and the one on the right with it in the middle. So you might have a favourite, you might not be bothered. I'm not sure I have a favourite yet. But yeah, let me know which is your favourite, please. Thank you, Val. Oh, I need to show next week's card, I believe. I've got it out. Whoops. Oh, okay. Next week's card, we're going to do a version of this. You just might have to adapt the sentiment if you've not got anything. You think you prefer the one on the left? Yeah, I'm thinking that. But yeah, it's nice to have that choice. So next week, we're going to be doing this retro one with an embossed background. I have used the jingle stamps, but you can use another stamp or greeting for this. But we're going to do this one next week. That's week 5. And just a reminder that bookings close next week for the next round of the coffee and card with the beers, the male themed one. I'm really looking forward to doing that one because we don't do many cards for men's. Oh, thanks, Christine. Thanks for commenting and thanks for watching. I've had lots of viewers today. So yeah, that's week 4's card. I'll be back on for week 5. Craig and I will be back on tonight for paper crafts and piano. Actually, I haven't decided what I'm doing yet, but I've got a few hours left to decide. So that's all good. But we'll be back on at 7:30 on YouTube. We're not on Facebook for that, just on YouTube for paper crafts and piano. Bear with me. Phew, we got there in the end. Thank you for bearing with me. I don't know how I can rectify that next week. I'll just have to make sure. Well, I thought that I'd checked everything, and I'm sure I did, because I'm sure I just did it the same. But anyway, it's how you deal with things if things go wrong. So yes, I will see some of you tonight, hopefully. And if you've any questions about any of the products or any of the classes that I have coming up, please just drop me an email, or this is my events website that's now coming up a lot across the bottom of the screen. So you can check that out, and you can book on for events and for classes and kits there. So have a lovely rest of your Tuesday. Apologies for the slight delay. But yeah, have a great day, and hopefully I will see you tonight. See you.